Hello everyone and welcome to a new video series in which I will play games against my own subscribers. In the video I will be playing a 5-minute plus 5-second increment game versus one of you guys, and the recording will be done live. If you want to be in the next video, leave a comment saying that you want to play a Blitz game and what your current rating is. I will randomly select someone to play against me for the next video. Do make sure that you're subscribed though, because if you're not subscribed, I can't play against you. After I have played the game, I will analyze it shortly and give tips about how to play differently. Now let's dive right into the first game.
Hello everyone, let's start. Against d4 I usually play f5, so let's see how it turns out. He might play e4, which is the Stanton gambit. I don't know if he plays it, but I find it really annoying. Knight f3 is also fine. Now after knight f6, there's a lot of possibilities. Usually they play c4, taking as much space in the center as possible, but there are other strategies to play. There's also moves like bishop f4, some sort of London setup. I guess what works best is if I play e6 and then being get on with bishop to b7. That's what I usually do. Also, there's people that like to play bishop at d6 at this point, and if they take back with the c pawn. I'm not a big fan of it. I just want to control e4 even more with the bishop on b7, so that e4 doesn't come. Also, whenever they play c4 and knight at c3, there's no way they play e4 at that point. Whenever he moves to c3, I like pinning him with my bishop, but he doesn't. So I'll just play bishop e7, castle, and then d6. Trying to play for e5 myself. But usually they castle here. He can also develop his knight if he wants to. There's no real big difference. Okay, castles. So let's do the same. And we're pretty good out of the opening. I know that the bishop on e2 isn't really the place it wants to go. I think it should belong on d3. This is fine. He didn't play knight c3, but knight d2 can also be fine. I guess he wants to try to fight for the square e5, but I'll just take it away, play knight to d7 and try to play for e4, or e5 I mean. So I can play queen to e8 and then to h5 to try getting a kingside attack. There's ideas to go for a3, b4. Place the knight there. I don't think that's good. He's really not fighting for any squares he needs. I'll just play this for e5. But first I'll need to place my knight on e4 and then play bishop to f6. Then I can play e5. Also check out this video I made for myself. That's the Chess Chef logo on it, so I'm really proud of that one. There's also a black one on the shirt, but I mean I can only wear one at a time, so maybe for next videos I'll wear the other ones. Okay, rook to c1. I guess he wants to play c5 or something. It's not really the goal of the position because I could just take once and take back with a piece. I'll just move my knight to e4, defending the c5 square once more. After this I can also play g5, g4. Then this knight kind of gets in trouble. Also play knight to d2 back. Okay. Well, playing d5 is, I think, a strategical mistake because he gives me the c5 square for my knight, and also where first I had to fight to play the move e5, I can now play it for free to kick away the bishop. And then once he moves back to g3, I think I can just play f4. That just wins a piece, I think. I'm not sure, I have to calculate it though. See, if I play f4 here, takes, his knight is pretty loose. So if he would try to attack it, I could play takes, and if takes, just take on h2. I think it's a good move. I'm not sure. Let's just try it out. So moving here doesn't work because my bishop is staring at the square. I do have to give up this though. Or maybe I can play knight c5. Never he plays bishop or queen to here. Okay, now he just gives up a piece. Pretty happy with that one. Didn't have to fight for it. That's the difference between playing against a 900 and a 1500. I mean, there's quite a big difference in the strength. I don't think he saw that coming. Maybe he already thought his bishop was trapped, but I'm not sure. He still had ways out, but chose not to try to find out. c5 square is nice. Also, now I can play my bishop back and help in the attack. My rook maybe I can lift up and move to either h6 or g6. Depends on what the opponent plays right now. Okay, I'll just defend with my knight. Maybe you can play queen to f3 or that. It's also possible. Now I just take back, attacking the bishop. Could move back. Then I just move back my bishop. I'm not going to do anything about the tension here because I don't want to open the f-file. Just want to keep it closed so that only my rook can enter the position from here. If I would take and open the f-file, he just has more pieces to defend with because the f-file is only for him to use at this point. Also, okay. He does. Whenever I do this, he takes back with the f-pawn. Don't want to help him with that. But I can just move back. If he takes, take back, and this pawn is pinned to the king. Also, the queen can't move away from defending the bishop because it's attacked by the knight. If he doesn't do anything about it, I play f3 myself, solidifying this pawn here. Okay, afterwards I can still do that. Except for when he plays queen there. But then I can just attack him with the rook. Okay. This helps me, I think. I can just, you know what, I'll just play f3 and then try to mate him like this. He is low on time, so I think I can do this. I did have to take because you could just place bishop back here. Then there's no more issues for him. put my bishop back and try to enter the fight over here. Defend with the bishop. I really want to stay defending the pawn because it's a real asset for me. He's always in trouble for getting mated. Move to the side, try to enter the position. And if he plays that, I might be able to play bishop to f5. If he goes here, there's no problems for him, but if he moves away, for example, to here or to a dark square, I can try to enter the position. Yeah, he's now in trouble. He could play this, but defending right now. Just rook lift. If he goes here, take and move back. Now I can just take here. He goes there, I can block with. Okay, he tries to defend like this. That's actually pretty good. Maybe I'll just try to exchange rooks. Because if he takes now, oh no, it doesn't work. Play queen here. Also, I'm pinned, so that's an issue. Just using the fact that he has low time right now, so I need to make small decisions that don't impact the game immediately. I can just take back here. Now if he moves his rook, I can check. Let's block this diagonal, or this line, so he doesn't make me here. He is able to exchange queens, but I'm not scared. I am up a piece, so there's no problems. Yeah, he just tries to trade everything off, but now I can just play bishop to d3, taking this pawn, take after takes, take. And I have a pass pawn right now, so there's no issues. He did play well, he hung on till the last point. Now let me fork these pawns. Like this. Do have to be careful. He can try to make a pass pawn for himself, but I do have time right now because after this move I can play c3. If he does this, yeah, I'm not scared. I can just play the move bishop to e6 and I should be fine. Can get here, but okay, now he can't even take this pawn, so no problems. Yeah, GG. For the analysis part, I wanted to take a look at some points in the game that were pretty interesting. The opening was pretty straightforward. We played pretty common setups. After this, he played knight b3. Knight b3 is not really a good way to go forward. I understand he wants to play for c5, but you stop your b pawn from being able to go forward. I can play knight e4 now without any troubles. I did make a mistake in this position though, and some of you may have seen it. I played the move knight b to d7, but I should have played h6 first, because right now he can play the move knight to g5, knight g5 attacks this pawn, and there's actually no way to defend it. I'm getting forked, and there's no way for me to keep this material balanced. Actually, giving up this pawn or giving up the fork is better already than defending it, because if I were to defend by playing the move queen to e8, for example, he can take, and if I defend this rook, he can actually take on c7, and my position completely crumbles. So there's no way for me to defend it. If he found knight g5, I would have been in big trouble, but he didn't, so I'm pretty happy. In this position, he played the move rook to c1. Rook c1 is a miss because of this tactic. After this, I could just play the move knight e4 and defend the knight g5 move with my bishop and the knight together. So that wouldn't be a problem anymore. Right now, he could have played h3 to make way for his bishop to retreat and stay on this diagonal, but I'm gonna play e5 anyway, because he played the move d5, and d5 is just a mistake. You want your d and c pawn to stay together because they cover really important squares on the queen side. By playing d5, there's holes in your defense. I can just play e5. After moving this back, I played f4, but also this square is really weak now, and by pushing them, you did block my bishop, but in the end, whenever I move my knight, I could just move my bishop back and attack on the light squares over here. So there's way more concessions than is actually needed. Now I played f4, which is not the best move because he could take and play the move queen d4. That's something he missed though, because he thought he was already trapped. He decided to play the move bishop h4, which is just giving up a piece. After this, it became pretty comfortable for me. I just decided to trade one knight and afterwards attack on the king side. This worked kind of well. I just knew I could trade because I was just up a piece. He had to really make concessions on the king side by playing the move h4, which really makes his position a little weaker. Right now, he went for the attack, but I could just defend by placing the rooks on the e-file. Now, what I could have done is play the move rook to e1 check, because right now I force him to take, and then I can take the rook here. There's no way for him to infiltrate on the e-file, so he kind of has to play the move queen to f1, because else I will just play bishop to h3 and mate him on the g2 square. So right now he's all immobilized. I can just play the move bishop to e4 and threaten to go here, and after king h2, he has to stay on f1 with his queen, so he's just trapped over there. What happened though, I played queen e4, and after this he decided to give up a pawn and then trade queens. And from this position, it's just pretty easy to convert. He decided to trade rooks, and afterwards I could just place my bishop on d3, and anyone can win this position with that much time on the clock versus the 11 seconds my opponent had. So that's where it all went wrong, I think. Now, thank you all for watching. I really like you watching my videos, and I was so enthusiastic about you watching that I wanted to give you something to look at the screen while I was playing. So I hope you really like this kind of content. Let me know in the comments if you want to play a game against me. I challenge you to play a Blitz game against me in my next video. Now leave a like too, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video, and bye bye.